Hey guys, what's going on? Back with another video. As you guys probably know, or some of you might know, I like looking for Easter eggs, and it's kind of like not necessarily Easter eggs in game that you have to like activate or know the steps for. I like looking for the like dev Easter eggs, I guess you can call them, or I call them like outside the game Easter eggs, maybe like even in real life Easter eggs, sort of, or behind the scenes stuff like that. And it's definitely visual Easter eggs. That's kind of one main point before I forget. And it's stuff that the average person or pretty much everyone isn't going to see because um, there goes also with Ether, Treyarch zombies. There's stuff that hasn't been solved. I think mainly because they're more like puzzles or visual Easter eggs that you have to kind of see a pattern or know the backstory or maybe be even a little bit older, you'll know the reference to it. So this is kind of maybe one of my first Infinite Warfare Zombies Easter eggs. I'm gonna go back and pick apart the game, look at stuff that maybe people missed or didn't notice or couldn't really understand. I kind of started with Ether again, Treyarch Ether Zombies. I went back and looked at some of the older games, Black Ops 1, 2, and 3, World at War, and try and find or piece together Easter eggs that people might have overlooked or didn't get the reference. So I recently started that, and I do have a couple that I have like stored away in my brain, to be honest, and I'm trying to like do a little bit every week, maybe put an Easter egg out there. And in the past, I used to send it to big YouTube channels, but I kind of found out the hard way that the average little channel or person that's looking for Easter eggs, they're gonna appreciate it a lot more than some of the bigger channels and some of their subscribers. They're gonna be a little bit more appreciative of the Easter eggs and stuff like that. Because when you that's how I started. Like I never was there in the beginning of Zombies and Ether and World at War. I kind of started with Black Ops 2. So when you are the type of person that wants to go looking for Easter eggs or backstories, you're gonna Google it yourself or go on YouTube and search it, and you're gonna appreciate every find that you see rather than somebody handing it to you and stuff like that. So before I ramble on even more, so this is the first Easter egg that I'm calling an Easter egg for Infinite Warfare, and it's stuff that people may have overlooked. So, as you guys know, this isn't exactly the Easter egg because this people know about, but I'm just kind of showing you the reference. And sorry, it's crooked. It's just that I took it with my phone, and whatever. It is what it is. And I try and do these quickly. Also, that's the other thing. I have so many Easter eggs to show people that when I make the videos, I'm not considered a big YouTuber or have the time or technology or technical skills to make videos and stuff like that. I just put it in a slideshow and present it to you guys, and you guys can go look at it on your own and stuff like that. So the DLCs traditionally with Treyarch and even probably maybe Modern Warfare, the original Modern Warfare series, the DLCs always used to spell out something. So with the mouse, you'll see that, and they always jumble it or do it backwards, so it's not so obvious. The first, I believe, I'm hoping the game put it in this order for me. Absolution maybe was the first DLC. Retribution was the second DLC. Continuum was the third DLC. And keep in mind, this is probably going to change going further because of the Battle Pass system and the seasons and stuff like that. So this might be a little bit different in the future. And Sabotage, let's say, was the fourth DLC, which, yeah, because I think that's the Extinction logo down there. Actually, no. Okay, so they are jumbled. The way Xbox did it, it is jumbled. I don't think it spelled it out because I think this was Extinction here. The Beast from Beyond. I'm trying to make out what was what. But none of that really matters. Oh, then this was the one on the beach, I believe. So anyways, Xbox ends up putting it jumbled anyways, so it doesn't matter. I don't know the order because I didn't really play it when it first came out. Like I said, I'm going back to some of the older games and looking at Easter eggs. So Sabotage, Continuum, Retribution, Absolution. that spells Scar. And just in case you might be new to that, that was an Easter egg. It spells Scar. And people thought maybe it was hinting at the gun coming or something like that. But you know what's funny too? You can actually even make an Easter egg. And I tell people I always find stuff or figure stuff out live while I'm recording because, like I said, I don't have time for a lot of this. I just do a one-shot recording. If I stumble over my words, that's just the way it turns out. So ARC, ARC, ARCS could also be like the arc in Extinction. It could have been hinting at that. But the more obvious one I'm gonna go with, so people don't think I'm like desperately looking for a connection or a solve or just to make money on a video. Arc could also be because Arc was a big story arc also in the Extinction storyline. There was something about the Arc was buried underneath one of the maps or something like that. But that's actually pretty cool. Unless it's spelled with a K, it might be with a K. But Arcs might be something. But the real solve is Scar, because Scar is the Special Combat Air Recon, and that was, I guess, one of the good groups, I guess, the good guys. Well, I'll read it because I actually didn't read this. I just kind of copied and pasted it from the internet. So it says Scar, the Special Combat Air Recon, is a faction in Infinite Warfare. They are a special ops unit that is part of the SATO Naval Special Operations Task Force of the United Nations Space Alliance. They are especially trained for space-based combat operations. Nick Reyes and his ship, the Retribution, are part of SCAR. Oh, so these are the good guys. SCAR team members can pilot Jackal fighters. The Settlement Defense Front (SDF) have a valid fear of SCAR fire teams, for they are capable of causing massive damage with relatively few operatives. Taylor Karazaki, narrative director, describes SCAR as a Tier 1 Navy SEAL operative meets Top Gun. There's actually a lot of Easter eggs that people haven't solved in Infinite Warfare. Mainly because the player base was so small for it, and people don't like digging for solves and Easter eggs. It says, due to the fact that sound does not travel in a vacuum, which would massively impede battlefield awareness due to being such a foreign environment to human evolution, SCAR team suits utilize a built-in laser microphone array to measure the vibrations of objects. Allowing SCAR, I'm just skipping over a couple things because I'm not going to drag it on too much. Just know that, like I said, SCAR, spelled out here, is the good guys in the campaign. So the actual Easter egg is when you go to the movies for zombies, because they're all based on Willard Wyler movies, it spells stars, and it spells, well, there's two ways to do it. I'm gonna say, okay, so it spells, you actually can steal the S here. It's okay, it could be like stars from Stars in the Sky, but if you do the titles using every letter like we did with Scar, it goes, you can spell out stars, so it's STARZ, which could be like a slang or cool way of saying like stars in the sky. It's based in space, and like I said, you could also do like maybe you can even say like S for Spaceland spells out stars, but the real title is Zombies in Spaceland. So it goes Zombies in Spaceland, Raven the Redwood, Shaolin Shuffle, Attack of the Radioactive Thing, and The Beast from Beyond. So the one first solve, which is most obvious, you would say is, hey, it's just like stars in the sky. They're just trying to be cool and funny about it. You know, it hints at space. Space was a big theme for Infinite Warfare in campaign and multiplayer. You know, they fight on different planets and moons and stuff like that. So STARZ is stars. But if you want to go a step further, a little bit further, is that there is a movie premium channel, and depending on your age, you're probably not going to know this. If you don't have cable, you just watch your parents' cable or something like that. Stars is a movie channel also, and obviously they're not gonna promote too much of a movie channel because of copyright legal issues, trademarks, and stuff like that. But you can also say because Willard Wyler was a movie director and I'll say stole movies. He wrote and directed movies and used real life people and just recorded them, like dying and stuff like that to get the more realistic acting, I guess, or reactions and stuff like that. But stars.com, you can go and check it out, is an actual movie channel where there's tons of movies. You can, I don't know if you can watch online now because a lot of them you can just watch online, like HBO, Disney, NBC, all that stuff. You can watch a lot of the movies online now. But stars.com is a movie channel. Willard Wyler is a movie director, and it could have the devs. I always tell people the devs are ridiculously smart and clever. Like that's why people can't find or figure out. People don't really stop to look and analyze stuff. They only take it for face value. A lot of people data mine Easter eggs, but if you really stop and analyze everything that's in the game, the devs are pretty clever, like really clever at hiding Easter eggs. So I'm just gonna say maybe Lee Ross or whoever made it stars, and it could hint at stars in the sky, zombies in Spaceland, and then it can also hint at the movie channel Stars, which Willard Wyler did movies, or unless somehow they promote a future Infinite Warfare or Zombies in Spaceland or Infinite Warfare Zombies with the Stars channel. That would be kind of cool, and say maybe like Willard Wyler started it like down the road in the future or something like that. Maybe he was successful. Who knows? But really quickly, if you aren't really sold on that or convinced or still don't know what Stars is, I went to Wikipedia and it says Stars stylized as Stars since 2016. So it's actually pretty. Oh, that's just well, Stars has been around since I think the 90s, but the logo or something changed in 2016, pronounced as Stars. Is an American premium cable and satellite television network that is owned by Lionsgate Entertainment and is the flagship property of parent company Stars. Okay, so the capital S's was in 26. Capital letters were in 2016, but Stars have been around since 1994. I think it's gonna say. Programming on Stars consists of theatrically released motion pictures and first-run original television series. Originally created in 1994 as a multiplex service of Encore, now Stars Encore. Stars operates 6 24-hour linear multiplex channels, a traditional subscription video on demand service, a namesake, all that stuff. I don't know what else is over here. So Lionsgate owns Stars, and it's probably all their movies. I don't see them putting other movie studios in there. But like I said, this is pretty much probably the deeper Easter egg. Most people are gonna, if they even noticed it, would have just said, "Oh, stars in the sky, zombies in Spaceland, Infinite Warfare takes place in space." But if you want to go a little bit further, think a little bit deeper and more clever, like the devs, maybe they were hinting at the movie channel or this movie studios and stuff like that, where it's all based around movies. Willard Wyler was a movie director, owned a movie theater, the Afterlife Theater, and stuff like that. And here, this might actually be. So this might actually be, like I tell people, I figure this stuff on the fly. If you just read into it, it'll keep going and going. You keep finding more stuff. Stars and its sister network, Stars Encore and Movieplex, are headquartered in Santa Monica. That's where Treyarch and all these companies are, with satellite office facilities located at the Meridian International Business Center in Englewood, in Colorado. You know what's funny too is Extinction took place in Colorado. Maybe that's where they were gonna eventually go with all this stuff. It's crazy, but people change and leave the studios all the time, like Infinity Ward and Treyarch. So maybe somebody started it with Extinction, Ghost, and we're gonna eventually keep going. But stuff changes over the time. But I'm gonna leave it at that. If you're not convinced, well, that's unfortunate. That's why I'm hoping the little guys that are searching this stuff are gonna appreciate it more than just dropping it on the lap of YouTubers and the subscribers that are gonna be doubtful and hateful and stuff like that. I know if you're Googling looking for Infinite Warfare Easter eggs that you might appreciate this more than just giving it to other people. Anyways, I'll leave it at that. You can check it out, read up on it on your own. I'll see you guys later.